9 students in a family receive an allowance of 250 pesos per week. If there are 3 scholars and will not be needing the allowance, how much would each of the 6 remaining students receive per week? This is an example of an inverse variation, looking into the relationship of the number of students in a family who would be needing the allowance and the allowance that they would be getting depending on the number of distributions. And with that, the allowance that each student will receive is your dependent variable. It will depend on the number of distributions or the number of students in a family who will be needing the allowance. Even if there's no clear indication that this is inverse variation, you would see that the more students in a family needing the allowance with the same budget from the parents, probably they will be getting lesser amount of allowance. And of course, the fewer number of students in the family who would be needing the allowance, there would be a chance that the allowance would be higher than the original. So we will be solving this using this equation, y is equal to k over x, where k is your constant of proportionality. We are going to subject here values already given in the problem, and we'll be solving for the value of k, which will also be used to solve the unknown. Our first pair of data given in our problem talks about 9 students, that's your x, and they will be getting 250 pesos each of them. Then the next is the question, how much would each of them will get? That's actually y, if there are only 6 students who will be needing the allowance. So we will be substituting this in our equation, solving for k. Actually, the k here is the original budget from the parents, and then we will know later on how much would each of the 6 students will receive. So we will have here y is 250 pesos, or 250 just for the computational purposes, is equal to k over 9. And then we multiply both sides by 9 to cancel this out. We'll do this the same here. And then you will get a result of k, which is equal to 2,250 pesos. Or again, in this case, 2,250. This value is actually the original budget of the parents for 9 students. But since 3 of the students are scholars and won't be needing their share of allowance, we can solve the amount or the allowance for each of the remaining 6 students. So we will just be dividing the same k, 2,250 by 6. Using computational processes, you will actually get a result for y, which is 375. Or in case of our problem, 375 pesos. In sentence form, you could say that each of the remaining 6 students will receive 375 pesos. So this is the result for this problem. And you could again check your answer by looking into the concept of inverse variation, that when you look at the number of students who will be needing the allowance from 9 to 6, so it was fewer than 9, and you could see the allowance from 250 pesos to 375 pesos, it increased. That's a concept for inverse variation. The more you practice, the better the chance to understand math. This is a direct variation statement for math success. Let this k, the constant of variation, be this channel. In other words, the more you practice with your subscription, the better the chance to understand math. Subscribe now.